Hey Roscoe,
Yo,
have you do you remember when Ray Rice was caught on video cold cocking his fiance slash girlfriend after a Super Bowl party?
yeah, I remember that. I definitely remember that.
He faced a consequence, a dire consequence. He ended up losing his NFL career. Even though he lost his NFL career, Ray Rice is on record as saying that he actually won the real prize, which was his girlfriend slash fiance becoming his wife. But I bring that up because something happened in the news today. An NFL player by the name of Chad Wheeler, he was arrested after getting into a fight with his girlfriend. The only difference is Chad is a American born white male, and as we know, white males in this country have privilege that no one else does. So I'm curious to see if he'll face the same consequence. Personally, I think his consequence should be more dire than that of Ray Rice. But
Yeah,
at the very least, he should lose his NFL career. But you want to go in on this topic?
let's do it, brother.
Let's do it. So, anyway, I'm pulling up this article. I know you went over it earlier. It's from TMZ, but it's on a couple of news sites, Yahoo, as well as ABC News and so forth. But it brings out how Seattle offensive lineman Chad Wheeler was arrested over the weekend. It says after he allegedly got into a physical fight with his girlfriend, and the allegations against the NFL player are disturbing. Now, I take issue with this because he's actually on the record as saying that he did beat her up. So I don't know why TMZ is trying to sit up here and sweep this under the alleged rug when the man has already admitted. I don't even know if I can call him a man.
Yeah,
After this person has already admitted that he did brutalize this woman. I just want to ask you, what are your takeaways when you read this article?
uh, my takeaways. Well, first of all, looking at that picture of the woman, because that's the first thing that popped out at me. I see the visual of the lady, um, black woman, just beat all the hell. And yeah, when I first read the story, because they didn't have a picture of Zach right at the top of the article that I read, so I saw her picture before I saw his. And when I saw his and realized that we had a black white situation going on, him being a white guy and her being a sister, but um it and I don't want to say anything bad about inner relational, you know uh relationships between two different races. I don't want to say anything bad about it. I've dated outside the race before, and some of the things that I think that happen, well, from my experience, one thing I could say from my experience is that um you can go into the other side and thinking that the grass is greener, which wasn't the case for me. But you know you go in thinking that the grass is greener on the other side if you're maybe a black male or a black woman who may call yourself tired of dealing with a lot of the negative things and stereotypes that come with, both the males and the females. You decide to go over to the other side of the fence to try it out. And everything seems to be going well at first. You go through your bumps and bruises because you're learning each other's ways and culture and all that. And at some point you say, hey, this is the person for me, and you dive in, and then all of a sudden, you ran head first into a nightmare, and that seems to be the case with this lady. um, like I said, beat all the hell. This dude is a football player of all things, and an offensive tackle. So this dude is a paid wall. He has 275-pound, 300-pound people who are extremely fast coming at him, extremely fast, and he's just stops them. That's what he gets paid to do. This dude is 6'7", 3 whatever. And he puts his hands on this little woman. Apparently, because she didn't bow to this dude. So this person, and I don't even know how we even get to that. I can assume, that because maybe he felt that he's given this woman a life of privilege that she wouldn't have had otherwise, or whatever the case is. But decides that he's going to have this woman bow to him. I'm guessing that, she had issue with that. So he goes and pounces on her. And not only that, but, after which, because I'm assuming that they were having dinner at this time when this is happening. But he after he beats her, and he thought that he beat her to death. So she's laying there on the ground, and this dude just proceeds to eat his food. Like, nothing's wrong, just a normal Tuesday. So yeah, just sick. I can't imagine the mindset of a person like this, who can just go and commit an act like this and then just kind of revert back into normal. So yeah, just crazy story for me. But you can go ahead and continue, Joe.
It's funny that you say what you said, because after he proceeds to eat dinner again, she starts to regain consciousness. And then he proceeds to look down at her and say, "You're still alive?" And from that moment is when she ran into the bathroom and proceeded to call the police. And the police, when they arrived on the scene, they heard the screaming when they breached the home. They heard the sounds coming from the bathroom, where they found Wheeler standing next to the woman. And so I just wanted to highlight a few things, because there's been instances like this going on in the media a lot as of late, where there have been white males pretty much brutalizing and even murdering their black wives. Now, we can just look at it as these are just men and women with domestic violence and terrorizing women, or whatever the case may be. But I'm going to tell you why I think it's deeper than that. The reason why I think it's deeper than that, it's this show that used to come on called Justified with Timothy Oliphant. And in the 5th season, the actress Gabrielle Dennis, you might know her. She played Whitney Houston in the Whitney Houston Bobby Brown biopic that BET put on a few years back. But she's in this relationship with this rich Caucasian man, and he's trying to get some information out of her. But in order to get the information out of her, he literally proceeds to suffocate her with a pillow. He literally kills her. He has to actually resuscitate her. Once he brings her back, she tells him what she knows. But the thing about it is, she doesn't leave that relationship. Even like if you remember the story about the DeBarge family, how the daddy DeBarge terrorized the wife, beat her, raped her, you know, basically destroyed those children. You know, a pattern of this has been going on. And the only reason I bring this up is because right now, and this is for anybody out here who's watching our broadcast to go investigate, there's literally a divestment and a swirler community full of hundreds of thousands of Black women who throw Black men under the bus and actually praise white men as if they do no wrong. And that is the main reason that I bring this up. See, a lot of us as melanated people, we've been disenfranchised for over 400 years on this land called America. And when you come from poverty, when you come from broken homes and one toxic situation, it is easy to fall for the charms of a Caucasian male who has privilege, who has money and resources, and think of, well, I've been dealing with broke Pookie and Tyrone. Chad can be no worse. But when you move over into that other world, like you were saying, the cultural differences, they're blaring. But more than anything, you trade what may be a loving relationship for being able to have the resources and the freedom to buy whatever you want, go wherever you want, live in the lap of luxury, mainly because this system makes money king and God. What do they say on the dollar bill? In God we trust. You know what that GOD stands for on the dollar bill? Gold, oil, and drugs. That's the God they're talking about. And it comes with resources and the image that everything is all good because you can buy Prada, Gucci, Dolce and Gabbana, Mercedes, and BMW. And so I think there's a trade-off that a lot of these sisters want to have when they sit up here and place these Caucasian men over us. But there's more I want to bring out, but I want to get your take on some of this stuff. What were your other takeaways from this article?
I didn't have a whole lot more afterward. You know, I just think, like I said, and like you said, you know, a lot of these women who do think that the grass is greener on the other side, you know, and make these decisions based off you know, resources and money and that. Now I think that is one thing, but because I don't want to discourage interracial, the word that I couldn't say earlier, but we don't want to so much discourage that. If it so happens to happen naturally, that's the person who you're meant to be with. It works out great. It works out great. That's great. But if you're one of these people who are trying to discredit the race and then think that maybe if I go over to the other side, hop over the fence and see what that life's like, and you know, kind of delve into that culture and whatnot, you know, yeah, sometimes you'll come to find that not only is the grass not greener, but you could find yourself under the grass. You know, so yeah, it's just and you know, this is just a sad situation with, you know, the first lady that we talked about, a lot of the other situations that happen like this around the world. Yeah, like I said, man, you really gotta take into account like who you invest in your time, energy, and life into, you know, because you make these decisions and it can cost you everything.
Agreed. Just to piggyback off of what you were saying, when it comes to not discouraging interracial relationships. Like, I'm of the mind where there's only one race, the human race. Yeah,
Exactly.
there are different ethnicities and creeds and cultures, but we're all one human race. And so I'm not here to discredit that. What it is we live in a capitalistic society where people will push away from the common sense thread of maybe I should be with somebody with strong morals, strong character, somebody who really genuinely loves me and has empathy versus, ooh, look at that car he got. Ooh, look at his house, girl. Satan himself, he transforms himself into an angel of light so as to mislead many. So if you really look up the definition of what it means to be charming, it's not a good thing. It's a deception. Charm is false. It's like you're trying to pull somebody in on the false pretenses of who you are. Most people can do that because they have a motivation to pull you into their world. So they're not gonna pull you in on who they truly are. This man right here already was in trouble with the law previously, like so many others. But I'm sure that this was not the first incident between them. The way domestic violence works is it continually escalates. But you have to ask yourself, from the first time he did this, to the second, to the third, to the point where he got where he wanted her to bow down to him. What kind of entitlement you have to want somebody to bow down to you? How you have to look at yourself as a god. He probably was like, and I'm just speculating. I'm speculating on what his internal landscape was, but he was probably like, I'm above you, whether she was a woman or a black woman or whoever. So you bow down to me. And when she didn't, that's when he commenced to beat the brakes off of her. If you look at this sister, he did a doozy on her. She was only 145 pounds. This man is used to moving defensive linemen like it's nothing to protect his quarterback. Who's that, Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Sierra's husband. That's who he was protecting. But we see he really don't care nothing about black people. He protects a black man. He protects a black man, but he don't give a dang about black women. And the only reason he protects that black man is because he's paid to do it.
Right.
And so
he's probably allowed a few sacks on that dude.
He's probably allowed a few sacks on Russell.
Just on GP, but
allegedly.
Yeah. But this dude, he's like you said, the worst of the worst. And there's no more words that I could find for this dude. But I do hope and pray that anybody that is watching and wants to delve into that story further, I'm sure we'll be able to post links and all that to the story. But
yes.
But yeah, just a crazy story, and that's about all I can say about that.
Okay. So to all you swirlers out there, all the sisters, even you brothers too, that think that our people are not any good for you, you haven't dated all of us. There are a lot of good black men out here. Are we rich like the people who stole this country? No, we're not. But if you worked with us, we can build up our monetary riches and our material riches to be maybe not on their level, but we'll have something to pass down to our children. But more than anything, I think looking at the character of a person and allowing time for that true character to come out instead of just jumping on something. The one thing I will say when I listen to the divestors and the swirlers is they're very quick to cling on to these Caucasian men and make it seem like they can do no wrong. And don't think that these Caucasian men are not picking up on that. That's what you have to keep in mind. They're still men, they're imperfect men. And they're very brutal, as history has shown us on so many occasions.
Right.
But things like this, the reason I say what I say is because without this particular dynamic, for all you people out there in YouTube land, you know what ghetto gaggers is. You see what these Caucasian men do to these black women on these ghetto gagger porn sites. So if they're willing to do that for the world to see, just imagine what they're doing in the privacy of their own home.
Get your head in pillow, girl.
At any rate, that's all I got to say about this. I want everybody out there to like, comment, subscribe, share this with all of your friends. This is some dope information. Go in the comments, tell us what you think. You know, any shout outs you got, Roscoe?
I just want to shout out my homegirl Ashley, who I work with, man. She's a good chick, man, stand-up chick, and she's an actress too. I just forget the little movie that she did, like a little hood movie. So yeah, she's a little actress too. Well, not a little actress, but she's an actress. So shout out to the homegirl Ash.
That's good stuff. All right, Ashley, you keep doing your thing. Make it happen for yourself. Stay off them casting couches. Warheads out.